Hello my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well, and I really am happy to have you here. It's really good to have you here, and I'm excited to delve into today's subject, which is about what needs healing right now. It's going to be a really beautiful exploration, so I'm really looking forward to it. Before I delve into the reading, I just want to put out a disclaimer that if at any point that you feel uncomfortable or that this reading doesn't resonate, please either pick another pile or choose another reader. Do make sure that, like, at the beginning, that kind of assimilates whether or not it is your reading or not. But if it's not, that's fine. You can turn off and look at something else that may be more appealing to you. But otherwise, for all of you that do resonate, do only take what resonates. Disregard the rest. This should only be a confirmation of what you already know and not something that you don't. Okay? If you want a personal reading, however, and then we can go deeper into that, then we can explore that, and my details are in the description box below. So with that being said, you have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is this beautiful Lepidolite heart. Pile 2 is this really interesting piece of Moonstone. And pile 3 is this piece, or this ruby. So, my friends, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful Lepidolite heart. Beautiful, gentle, healing energy, which is encouraging higher healing of understanding and kind of something quite ethereal and sparkly. So there's like blessings from the universe in order to promote this healing. Not that any healing doesn't have that already, but it's almost like, because we've got this purple kind of vibe as well, and Lepidolite, it's just very gentle and nourishing and nurturing. Very different to, like, say, for example, rose quartz. Like, rose quartz is, you know, nurturing and healing, but there's more of a kind of cognitive, maybe cognoscent, I don't even know if that's a word, vibe to it. Whereas this is more kind of material stroke nourishing, almost trying to bring you to a place of divine healing, to manifest that divine healing. I'm just trying to think when this was given to me. It wasn't really anything significant, but I just really remember that one thing is that, like, I don't really buy myself crystals that are like shaped in shapes. I don't really like it, to be honest. I get given them, and this was given to me. And it kind of reminds me of the fact that sometimes we are so used to giving love to other people, but to nourish ourselves is something that we don't do. So I think that that's what's kind of, you know, this is how people see you. They see you in this beautiful kind of heart whole shape, you know, that when someone looks at them or feels something from them or looks at it, they feel a sense of comfort. And I think this is about turning that inwards towards oneself so that you can start to show that lens of observation towards yourself, because that's where it is really needed right now. I'm really feeling emotional, so I'm going to try my best not to cry. Wow, Achilles. Oh, okay. So it was reversed. But I am going to take these ones upright, but I am going to just make note of the reversed meanings. Achilles, you know, he was an exceptionally strong warrior. Just going to have a look at something. Yeah, he was an exceptionally strong warrior. But You know, there was one point where he was vulnerable, and that was the point where he was struck. And it completely disabled him. So I think it's really important to understand that you too have vulnerable points. And maybe these points have been struck at this time. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm trying not to get emotional. Pile 1. Okay, let's have a look at some cards for you. I've got loads. Absolutely loads. Right, okay, so let's start with some astrology. We've got the sun in reverse. So the feeling I'm getting is being happy but not sometimes. Not feeling completely whole at one. My focus is here on this darker spot here, which is really interesting. I want to go with this one next. Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is really important to you. Let me just pop that up. Oh, I want to hug you. Give you a big hug. Pile 1. Give you a big hug. Okay, this one which is reversed. Okay, this is thorn apple. Wow, this is datura. Eat a little and go to sleep. Eat a little more and have a dream. Eat a little more. And is this going to be in focus? And wake no more. Wow. That's deep. Okay, I know what's going on here though. I don't need to look that up. I will look it up anyway but I think I know what's going on. Yerbe de Diablo. Locoweed. Wow, I'm just having a look here. It says locoweed, Yerbe de Diablo, and zombie. Wow. What else does it say? Something crimson weed. Can you see that? So, I mean, what I'm getting, devil's cucumber, apple of Peru. Wow. So, wow, pile 1. Gone off to a cracking start already. I mean, there is, as I said at the beginning of this video, you know, only take what resonates, discard the rest. I think it's important for you to remember that I think there is some depression that's going on here. If some of you are, there is something that's happening here. I'm just putting on some hand cream because my hands are really dry. Yeah, like you have to, so I'm needing to protect myself. Yeah, there's this sense of really protecting oneself from being able to feel deeply in the sense of emotions, and also kind of a keep calm and carry on attitude. I don't know whether or not you do have a secure and loving family, and if you do, they might not be blood. I don't think that they are. If they are, they're probably like your friends. They're the family that you choose, or they may be like not direct relatives. So I think there's something going on here, but Datura reversed kind of tells me that you may have been doing things, and it could be like workaholic kind of attitude where you've been trying to like just focus on certain things so that you can kind of avoid really dealing with your emotions or what, you know, the pain. And it isn't until like one thing kind of knocks you out of balance that you actually adhere to it and recognize it. Okay, so we've got a head, heart, and it's dream. I don't know what that means. It's beautiful, though. And what I'm getting initially is that head, heart, the headline, I think it's that line here. So that's about your kind of direction, and it's reversed. So it would say to me that there's kind of maybe an inhibition in dreaming about the possibilities that you might have for yourself in terms of your career, or in terms of your direction. So just keep that in mind. And then the last card that we have, and I've got like a load more because so much came out for this and I knew it would be a big reading. So let's have a look. Wow, Rose, attract a relationship. Pile 1. Oh, Pile 1, I just want to give you a big hug and tell you that you are deserving of so much love. So deserving of so much love. Let's have a look at what this head dream is. Okay, no, it's actually, it's this line here in the middle. And because this is the Mount of Luna, it's this section here. So basically, there is a great richness in turning away from one's everyday and blindly trusting one's intuition, experiencing one's visions as a real thing. Embrace these gifts, but be careful not to overdo them. So in this respect, I think that you have completely walked away from that sense of intuition. It feels like that. And what's happened is that even when we see Achilles like kind of moving away, it feels like this is where you want to go. You want to attract a relationship. You want to attract something that's emotionally secure and loving. But in the way that you're doing so, there's almost some kind of like numbing that's happening. And this is causing this kind of like reversed sun, which I see as like, you know, reversed sun in the tarot, which would mean that, you know, it's a nice day, but it's cloudy, you know, it's a cloudy day. So let's have a look. Let me just have a look. Is there anything else? Okay, right. Yeah, because upright, this would mean that kind of like the reality is lost. Whereas here I'm feeling that it's imbalanced. It means that you have no kind of connection to the intuition. So now with that being said, if that resonates with you, then this is probably a reading. Please do keep on watching. If not, then do click off or maybe try another reading. So let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say about what it is that needs healing right now with you. Just lighting some incense. My beautiful Pile 1, if you're not using incense or like smells, essential oils or something, because I felt the need to breathe in some lavender actually just before your reading, so to clear stuff, so maybe use that. Oh, that's another thing I was going to look at actually. I was going to look at what that thorn apple is. Bear with me. So this is really interesting. I feel that almost in a way that not only is there a turn away from the intuition, there is also maybe excessive use. This is my own thing. Excessive use of either some kind of like addictive substances, as well as being addicted to work. I mean, the first thing that I saw was addiction to work and getting forward and doing things that really actually that you can tangibly see. But this does also signify that you could have an obsession with an unhealthy obsession. And also it signifies that you could that you could be the subject of kind of some black magic kind of vibe. And black magic doesn't have to be as, you know, as glamorous or like as demonstrative as, you know, somebody setting up an altar and then setting, you know, maybe doing a voodoo doll on you or whatever. This is as bad as like thoughts, like somebody casting negative judgments towards you, thinking badly about you, doing something, even having you in their thoughts in a particular way, because that's why like babies have kohl. Like, I don't know if you've seen like Indian babies have like kohl on their eyes, and that kohl stops people from basically cooing over them too much, because if people are saying, oh, what a beautiful baby, that also induces some kind of negative vibe. It's crazy, but it's a tradition. So, you know, there's that kind of thing as well. Like, so if people are like super praising you, there's also that potentiality to be taken down. So there's something that's going on here. Maybe you're feeling pressure about something, and then you're also using that to kind of like push through and do something so that you distract yourself from the pain. But I don't know, there is something that's happening here that's not 100%, and we're going to find out in a minute. I just wanted to expand on that with the book. You know, I can see the pentacle here. I don't know if I showed you that, like the card. It's incredible, this deck. So it's reversed. So you can see the pentacle here, the reverse pentacle. And whenever I see the reverse pentacle, I just think of like, you know, that the head is down at the ground. So that means that the primary function, the primary focus is on the genitalia, which is the root chakra, which means that that's the, you know, it's your wants and your needs that are taking primary focus rather than actually thinking about them. You know, the material is taking precedence more than anything else, rather than a higher sense or spiritual sense. Okay, yeah, I think that one goes that way. Wow, 6 of coins. Huh. And after I said all of that, look at that one. Look at that. That looks pretty. Like, that looks pretty dark. Lovely. Okay, I was only going to go for 5, but then you wanted me to do 6, Spirit. So, yeah. I've been quite happy with the cards recently, so I will go for it. Why not? Okay. So we've got the 9 of coins. We've got death reversed. We've got the 6 of coins. We've got strength. We've got the page of wands. And then we also have the high priestess. Yeah, you're definitely not following your intuition. Absolutely not. I would go as far to say as that you're ignoring it. And what's really funny is that there's a sense of you not, you know, you recognize that you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be in this space alone. You want something more. But there's still a hierarchy that's happening, and I don't know if it's part of like a kind of paradigm of thinking that has been that way previously. Sorry if you haven't been able to hear me too well. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a paradigm of what you've been thinking, but there's some kind of idea that you're still, like this imbalanced idea that you're still thinking of, you're still working with, you're still following, and that is what's stopping you from being able to move forward. Nobody's questioning your strength. Nobody's questioning like what you've done. Nobody's saying that what you've done is wrong or anything like that. There's nothing, you know, and I don't really see any fear of that, but I do feel the need to reassure you that, because there isn't defensiveness, but this whole action is slightly like, I'm doing my own thing and I'm going to do it. You are in a willingness to learn. I don't know if there's people around you that really love you and take the time to listen to them. They may be younger. It may be even, I would go as far as like children. Maybe if you've got relatives who are children, say nieces, nephews, or even your own kids, listen to them, because they're going to teach you a lot about following, you know, what real strength is in terms of that sense of vulnerability, rather than relying on this kind of oppressiveness, which is happening here. Because, as I said, you don't want to be alone. You want to be with someone. You want to be, whether you want a family or whether or not you want people around you. And I think it's important for you to remember that, you know, there needs to be some kind of balance there in order for you to allow someone in your life to be there, to love you in the way that you want to be loved. So let's have a look at the tarot. Let's clarify some of these cards. I don't know if some of you think that this work ethic is sexy. If some of you think that being this hard worker, kind of providing character, be it male or female, it doesn't matter. But in terms of like financial and material stability, that is what's going to attract you, an emotionally secure and loving family and a relationship. 7 of Swords reversed. Okay, so you're finally being a bit honest with yourself about this. You're being honest that, you know, you can't attract a relationship in this way, or you know that something has to change in order for you to get what you want. Page of Pentacles reversed. You may have been a little bit, you may have been playing the field a little bit. You may have been like not really committed enough to the idea of attracting a relationship, or because there are certain elements that come with an emotionally secure, loving and family and a relationship. You know, you can't be a play person, play boy, play girl about it. You have to be, you know, something has to change. You have to show commitment in some kind of way, form or shape. The High Priestess reversed again. It's a definite denial of your intuition. And your healing, I think, is needing to go towards how do you heal your, you know, how do you heal your intuition? How do you heal your connection to your intuition? And a very simple way of starting to do that is meditation. I bang out on about meditation so much, but it really is the cornerstone of my practice. If there was one thing I would take on all of my spiritual practices, it would be my meditation, and that I'd be doing anyway. 6 of Swords reversed. I mean, this is something that kind of constantly, in a way, you know, it's almost like you're constantly looking back on this and wondering how you can change it. But I'm just curious. Okay, tell me about, okay, right, I see. I wouldn't be surprised if like somebody is kind of putting some kind of black magic onto you, evil eye kind of vibe. Because I was just about to ask the question, why is it that you can't see that, even though it does seem that you're reflective and you understand? Okay, 10 of Swords reversed. Okay. I think that maybe you were wrong about something, and since that fear of being wrong about something is not something that's very, like, I don't know, I think your ego is a little bit gentle. Like, I think it's hurt it in that respect. And trust me, I've been there. I have so been there when I've been wrong and I've been like, oh my God, like, how do I even trust myself? I think what's happened is then it's like, okay, I don't know if I really want to follow this path anymore. I don't really want to, I can't trust that anymore. I can't trust it. So what's happened is that negative energy has decided to capitalize on that and try and I think, I've got a feeling that it might be the energies that are seeing you succeed financially, and they know that things aren't 100% with like the emotional side of things. So there's almost like this insidious kind of behavior that is trying to undermine your success in that way. And they know that they can't get through to you on a material level. So in order to get through to you on an emotional level, which would match very well with the whole thing with Achilles, you know, it's the heel. Let's slice them there, because that's where they will stop. Wow, that's powerful. Deep. Okay, right. So, I mean, you have to trust your intuition implicitly. You have to build up your relationship with your intuition. This is where you can heal more. The love that you show towards others and the nourishment that you show towards others has to be shown towards yourself. It has to be. It's actually imperative. If you want to heal properly, then it has to be. Okay? Let's have a look at some other cards. I've got another another astrology card. Aquarius. Okay, lovely. So with Aquarius, you know, there's just a new way of thinking, a new approach, understanding that there is like, you know, there's something different that you're going to have to do. You know, you're really going to have to think out the box about this. I don't think it's going to be that hard, pile 1. I think it's going to be pretty easy, but I think you're just going to have to believe that you can, you know, and the belief is massive. Okay, another one of these cards. Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Can you see that? That's all I've been saying this entire reading. Intuition. I get very happy when Spirit confirms my things. Anyway, and then another colour. And then we have 2 more cards to close out this reading. Pearl, attract, connect to the divine, roses and pearls. If you don't mind wearing roses and pearls, go for it. Let me just have a look at the numbers. Right, we've got 26, which is 8. We've got 6, the lovers. So strength, the lovers. Lovely. And then we have pearl, which is 7. So that's the chariot. So okay, so the idea of pearl, the idea of grit, turning something into something beautiful, this process will help you to understand the kind of course of events that are happening for you to get to this point. So even if you're thinking, oh my God, if I'd only trusted my intuition like earlier, no. This is for you to find out at this moment. It's how it is supposed to be right now. Take it easy on yourself. Remember this lepidolite, right? Okay? It's like, right. It's like, be kind to yourself. And trust me, I resonate with pile 1 like so much usually. So I'm telling myself as I'm telling you. So remember, love yourself. Love yourself hard. Cute aggression towards you. That's what I'm feeling right now. So love yourselves. Deeply, truly, madly. Do it. But yeah, that whole thing of that sense of movement, because we've got like number 7, the chariot, you know, its own pace. Like the chariot is going at its own pace. It's doing what it needs to do at this time. So pay attention to that. Okay. And then we have this card, and then I've got this beautiful deck, which my favorite deck at the moment, which is this Blooming Lovelies deck. But this one is really good as well. Okay, what's this? Ooh, pay attention. A message is on its way. I'm telling you, once you slip into the kind of vibe of beautiful intuition and really trusting yourself, things will start to move in a way. I really do believe that for you, pile 1. So do trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself and trust your intuition. And I know that that's its own journey. But as I said, like meditate. There are loads of beautiful apps that are online. And it can just start with a 5-minute meditation. If you can't take 5 minutes, 2-minute meditation that you can do just focusing on the breath or just having some kind of guided meditation. If you want me, right? If you want me to create one, then let me know in the comments below and I will create one for you, and then I can reference that whenever it comes up in the reading. I might do that anyway. And yeah, just let me know. But yes, meditation will be your gateway, and silencing the mind, going for a walk in nature, doing those things that are really going to connect you to the beauty of life, and also expanding your horizons is going to be really what's going to help you here. Dance on the back of a crocodile. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, I love these cards so much. She's coming out with a tarot deck. I can't wait. But yeah, like, this is so beautiful. Dance on the back of a crocodile. And this is the intuition, yeah? Part 1. My gosh, this has been such a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for letting me watch and read your energy. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure, and I wish you all the best. I'm sending you the biggest hug in the world. My eyes are starting to water now, But I love you so much, and thank you so much for your attention and your love and support and everything. I wish you all the best. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Share it with anybody that you think it might be useful. Do like this video, because like then other people who need it can find it. It actually gets heard on the algorithm. And just remember, my darlings, that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So what is it that you need to heal right now? What needs healing right now? Now, what's really interesting about this Moonstone is that it looks like it's slightly curved. So it could be either a waxing or a waning moon. So there's those two possibilities. So something may be closing or something may be beginning. What's really interesting also is I see some kind of like face here. So it could be that you are possibly healing a connection with someone, connecting some kind of feeling towards someone. It may be either beginning or it may be either ending. There's something here. I do get a sense, if I'm honest, Pile 2, there is a reclamation of self going on here. If you understand what I mean by that, it's you're making your way back to yourself, and that is encouraging that sense of healing right now. I hope that makes sense. Let's have a look. Perseus. Gosh. Okay, bear with me, because I need to remind myself of Perseus. Pile 2, I had to do some full-on research for this. Full-on research. I had to get a cup of tea and I had to look at this. And Perseus, the legend of Perseus, is absolute determination to get what they want, to do what they need to do. But it's almost like this is a way of living that you might need to kind of step away from, because it feels like almost that you've had to act in a certain way in order to get something. And even in the pain of it all, it's gotten, you've actually amassed like a great amount of power from this. That's the main thing I'm getting, because, Perseus was the one that slayed the Gorgon. But also in getting that Gorgon's head, he just bossed it like everywhere. Anybody that kind of came up against him, he just showed that head off, and then damn, they were dead, or they were just turned into stone or petrified, whatever you want to say. So I just feel like a gift that you got from, or like some kind of thing that happened in the past that gave you some kind of strength and some kind of like almost formidable and unstoppable power, is now coming to some kind of like you're understanding that it has its downfall, I feel, because this is about healing, and you wouldn't be in that space if it was, healing. And also what's really interesting, there's a very slight purpley tinge here, which kind of means to me that there's some kind of intuitive awakening that's happening here. So let's see what the cards want to say about this, because this is interesting as heck. Okay, so we've got the 4th house. So yes, this is about family, home. We have lavender augustifolia, number 15, and it is reversed. That is the devil. Reversed. We also have, mystic cross, and it's reversed. And then we have one more here, and we have lemon access innovative thinking, and that's number 5. So we have Hierophant vibes here. So okay, I think you have managed to transmute some kind of maybe possible trauma that had happened when you were younger, or something that happened when you were younger, and you've been able to, it's either a trauma, it might not be a trauma, it might be it might be just a trait, you know. I don't think that this trait is very healthy. I don't know. I just got an overwhelming negative feeling from Perseus. I didn't get the best feeling from him, even though he is considered one of Greece's one of the ancient Greeks' greatest heroes. But this is it. Like, we're all, you know, there's all kind of, you know, there's light and shadow to everyone, right? We're human. He was half god. Okay, that's another thing as well I noticed. He was half god. So his mother was human and his father was Zeus. So there's almost like a purpose. I think maybe you were, you know, there was an exceptionally bright nature about you, and you were able to think very well, very strongly. What example can I give? The example that's coming to mind is, I remember an ex-boyfriend of mine. He used to tell me about stories about him being able to get other people to do his bidding. And he is one of the most successful entrepreneurs that I know, or that I had met at the time. Very, very rich. And you know, that kind of attitude, because he was able to use his gifts in a way, or the way that he was able to talk to people, interact with people. I don't think he manipulated them, but obviously to some degree he probably did. But like, he was able to use his resources, and be able to, you know, he was a brilliant thinker and he made a lot of money from a young age. And what's interesting is that he did have trauma in his household, but he managed to turn it round really well, like, or that to his advantage in terms of material wealth, and also just being secure. There's just some kind of energy with that. And with lavender being reversed, lavender is the master healer, funnily enough. It's the one that is known as the ultimate kind of, one of the top level healers of essential oils and herbs. Spiritually, it's a very protective herb. You've got it reversed, and it's also 15. Devil, also 1 + 5 = 6. That's also the lovers. So there is an imbalance here. The mystic cross also is when you get these crosses in your hand, and it kind of signifies that there's some kind of I think, bear with me. Yeah, I think the mystic cross kind of denotes some kind of mystical ability, or some kind of fortunate ability, or fortune kind of ability. What do I even mean by that? Not fortune ability. That, I don't know if you've got like some kind of mystical power, or if you've got like some kind of like clair, or maybe a fortuitous things happen to you, or maybe that you're quite lucky. Those are the things that are kind of coming to mind. Just trying to find it so that I can, what is it? Mystic cross. Okay. But that's the impression I'm getting. I'm getting that like maybe you've ignored that these kind of points of destiny. Bear with me. What does it say? They can often appear all over the hand. They're often cut across at the lines that are found on a mount. It manifests as a calling and represents the more subtle and spiritual aspects of existence. Trust it and don't fight it. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have been like, oh, you know, this is my birthright. This is what it just is, kind of normal, something that just happens. And I feel like there may be a lack of reverence there, because that's what I'm getting from this Perseus card. Because throughout the story, he had Athena helping him. He had, like, Athena gave him her shield so that it could shield the Gorgon. There's a lot of privilege here. Number two, I think it was Hermes. Yeah, Hermes gave him his winged sandals. There was a few other bits and pieces. He got like a lot of blessings from the gods to go and do well in this, you know. And it was like a kind of like, right, if you disagree with me, I'm just going to show you the Gorgon's head and then that's it. You're done for. So there's a little bit of entitlement here. Sorry, pile 2. Just have to say that. But hey, this is what needs to be healed. And remember, if this isn't your pile and that doesn't resonate, then please do click off or choose one of the other piles. It's up to you. Remember, this is only a general tarot reading, general on YouTube, and this should only be a confirmation of what you already know and not something new. If it is triggering, just switch off. But yeah, there is some, I would go as far to say it's entitlement, because the 4th house is upright. So, you know, it's almost like quite privileged thing here. But I think what's happened is that you may be understanding that this isn't enough. There's something else that needs to be kind of accessed here. Let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say about this. By the way, whether or not, like I mentioned about that ex, I have no idea about that person. I had to contact him about some quite intense healing messages that I received from his ancestors. And, you know, I think he understood that. But, you know, the ego is big. So, like, I think that's really interesting. I think there is an openness to it, but it's kind of a breaking of the ego. The cracks are where the light gets in. Do you know that saying by Rumi? Okay, so we've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Knight of Coins. Okay. We've got the 9 of Cups and we've got 8 of Cups. Beautiful cards. Beautiful cards. So what is it that my pile... I mean... What is it that my pile 2 needs to heal? What is it that my pile 2 needs to heal? Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I'll be honest with you, according to this, it doesn't really say that you've got that much to heal, pile 2, but I know that that's not true. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. And I don't know, I'm Mars in Virgo, I'm always looking for the issues. So, but there's not really, I think you have been healing. I think you have been healing. I can't help but think that you've already realized that this kind of behavior is not sustainable. This kind of like turning away, you have to recognize it. I think you're already doing it. Like pile 1 had to recognize it. But you seem to be doing it. You seem to be doing it. And you've got cups here, so there is an emotional connection here. But we don't have any majors. So you're still kind of on the ground about it, or still within the kind of like baseline emotions as opposed to like getting... And I do think that there is a little bit of... I mean, even though it says excessive innovative thinking, we don't really have any swords here. So we have cups, coins, and wands. Interesting. So maybe you're not thinking about it. Maybe you're feeling it, but you're not thinking about it. Because, like in shamanic practice, it's very much about you embodying the whole spectrum. So mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and holistic. Like entire. And I don't know, he's got his eyes closed here. So it just kind of says to me, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to, you know, but I am feeling it. Like I am feeling it. Massively. You may be distracting yourself. God, this 5 of Wands, look at that. That's amazing. That's power right there. Listen, I'm a bit scared of you, pile 2. You're amazing. I need some clarification, I think. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups. I think that you've been romancing. I think you've been like kind of connecting with people. You've been romancing people. You may have been, you know, kind of being associated with people. I don't think relationships are something that's very important to you. What is it that pile 2 needs to heal? What needs healing with pile 2? What did I say initially? Love yourself. Oh, okay. Right. So that's the 10 of Wands, the Guru, which is the Hierophant. And we had, where did we have Hierophant? Hierophant here. The Empress, there we go. The Ace of Wands. Oh, okay, right. This is starting to make a bit more sense. The Queen of Cups reversed. And the King of Wands. Lots of people here. Lots of people. You know, lots of king, queens. I can't help but thinking, and I thought that anyway up here, that you might have been involved with like a group of people, I think, that maybe weren't the healthiest for you. And now you're starting to understand like who is right for you. Let's have a look at this. Right, so the 10 of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Cups. I feel like there's a sense where you're kind of almost charming yourself into a space where you kind of charm yourself with the labor of the work. You kind of think, there's almost like a sense of romanticizing about the work. Even if it is like some kind of spiritual work. And what I'm noticing here is that each of these wands have little sprouts on them. So I think like you may be like high fire, pile 2, you may be like deep fire signs. Fire signs, particularly like Sagittarius vibes, they can have a tendency to just not really think about what they're doing and just do it. And sometimes that's needed, but I don't know, from what I feel like you want, I feel like you're going to have to take a different strategy. I think you want something different. That's why you need to look at this healing. And I don't think that you're close to it, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this reading. There's a lot of fire here, but there's no swords. There's no swords. So, I mean, it is a veggie Sagittarian, a very Sagittarian kind of vibe. This is really interesting. It's not easy. The Hierophant and the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. I think, right, you had a very good upbringing, actually, to be honest with you. I don't think it was traumatic. I think that there was something very much centered in, I don't know, I just feel like you had security at home. You had that. I feel very good maternal vibes, which actually empowered you tremendously. And enabled you to really, because look, we've got the Knight and we've got the Queen here, the Knight and the Queen of Coins. So you may have been like your mum's favorite or your maternal figure's favorite. And that really helped you in life. Like that really helped you to kind of be who you are. The only thing is that I think that you focus mainly on feeling and how you feel about a situation rather than really thinking about a situation. I don't feel like there's a lot of thinking going on here. That's why we've got cups and that's why we've got wands, but we don't have any swords because the discernment is not there. And lemon here being like access innovative thinking, there's almost like that crystal clear sharpness that you need. You know, it's that awakeness. And lemon is really kind of like, oh, it wakes you up. Whereas like cups and wands are intoxicating and pentacle is heavy. I think, and I would go as far to say that you might have everything that you want emotionally. You may even be in a relationship with someone, but there may be some sexual kind of issues going on. Maybe they don't turn you on as much, or maybe you're not turned on generally. There may be some kind of thing that's going on here, and that would match with the whole kind of ego thing as well. And funnily enough, that's very reminiscent of the example that I gave you earlier about an ex of mine, without giving away too much information. But there was like, you know, there's this inability to be able to be vulnerable, because, you know, it just doesn't work out. And then we've got the Eight of Cups, and then we've got the Queen of Cups. You may have been in relationships previously where, you know, you were not able to be there for them, be there for your partner in the way that you have been. Like, maybe you're displaying in your kind of, in your public life that you are very a go-getter attitude. You get things done. You're very driven. You know, you're really like, and you achieve it. But then when it comes to the emotional side, in terms of in relations with other people, it seems like you might not do that, particularly with the Queen of Cups reversed. I don't know. There's some kind of like, I mean, the stability is fine, but the emotional needs of others seem to be a little bit, yeah. I think that's why it was so hard to see it, because if you think in your head that you're doing everything right, and it's like, why don't they understand me? Why don't, you know, I'm doing everything that I need to do in order to make this person happy, but then this person is not happy, then what's going on? And this is what's happening here with this Ace of Wands. And I think you're very eager to change things, you know. I mean, like, look, Five of Wands. You're willing to change it up. You're willing to make things more exciting. It definitely feels like the intimacy is not there within a personal relationship. So you're needing to be able to understand why this Queen of, like, the Queen of Cups may be like your partner that's like just throwing tantrums about stuff, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? Like, why are they doing that? And you might not be realizing that you might actually be triggering this in some way, because there is something you're missing from this lavender card, and this as well from these two. So let's have a little look. I might have to pull some more cards. I'm quite unsure about this, but let's have a deeper look. Okay. Yeah. Finger. Warning you of a problem now or in the near future. Now, what I'm getting from this is that pointing fingers, I'm shifting the blame from one person to another. So that might be like avoiding the fact that the problem is anything to do with you. So, I don't know, pile one, if that resonates. It resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We've got another one of these. Apollo. Oh my God. Right, okay. So Apollo is the god of the sun, and is the god that, you know, this is about drive. You really want to make this right. I just have to take a sip of my tea, so hold on. You really, really want to make this right. You want to make it right so hard that the other person is probably like thinking, oh my God, like it's actually, I think that's what's bugging you. Maybe you're like thinking, how can I make this right? And the only option is to look within. That's what I'm feeling. Oh, pile two, I love you. Please don't come for me. I do love you. But I just feel that here. Because everything's pretty good, you know. Everything's pretty good, but there's just this issue here with this Queen of Cups. It could even be that this person is also maybe going towards drink. Like they may, like, okay, I'm going to be really blunt here. Like it could be that the other person may need to get drunk before they get intimate with you, or vice versa, you know. Yeah, because the 9 is not the 10 of cups, you know. The 9 of cups is quite a selfish card. It's about me. And that's the overall theme that I'm feeling here. It's quite selfish. It's quite like me, you know. Okay, so let's have a look at this colour. And we've got watermelon. Have fun with your inner child. Interesting. Interesting. What I get with that, and look, number 3, the Empress. What I get with that, Paul, too, is that maybe you have to connect to a sense of innocence with your emotional, well, not so much with your emotional self, but with your thinking self. Because as I said, like, we don't have any swords here. There's no thinking going on. And Apollo is not so much thought. Apollo is more drive, but it's not quite Aries. It's what you see. It's the personality. I don't know. There may be some kind of ego. I really do feel that. I feel that there is ego here. I mean, big ego here, but it's not afflicted. So, I mean, I don't want to say like you don't have much of a problem or like that there isn't something that needs to be healed, but I think that there needs to be a balance here. It needs to be a balance. Let me just see what that lavender card says, because when it's reversed, then I'll know. They usually have something to say about it. It's number 15, so let's have and that might give me a little bit of a help here, because I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie. Lavender. We may be acting too calm, too peaceful, not seeing things for as they truly are, but as we want them to be. Get clarity from lavender to see the situation truly, then approach the work before you calmly but realistically. So I think that's what it is. Sugar. I think what it is that you think everything's fine, but there's something that's not. And you know, this shifting of blame. So that needs to, you know, the situation needs to be viewed correctly rather than, you know, roses. And I think it would be useful to have a look at something to do with, oh, I see what's going on. So, okay, if this doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, but it's just come to me. So, you know, when people are brought up in a particular kind of dynamic with their family, if they have learned how to look at a situation or deal with a problem, this is quite avoidant, this, yeah? And it might be something that's been learned from the mother. Now, it doesn't feel like it's negative. It feels actually like quite positive in some cases, but then everything needs to be in balance. So it feels like a pattern of behavior that's been learned. And it's almost like a keep calm, carry on kind of vibe. Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense here. Because there's very strong cards. But then you've got this emotional kind of wreck that's going on here. That's going, hear me! Why can't you hear me? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from that. So I'll go and do this. And then you listen to me and you're just like, okay, what's going on? Kind of thing. And there's a kind of a lack of truly listening, truly being aware of things. Okay, let's have a look at this. Wisdom. The combination of knowledge, experience, and intuitive understanding. Wisdom. There are no swords here, pile 2. No swords. That means intellect. So there's something that you're missing there on the mental side, on the intellectual side. You need to think about something differently. Okay, last card that I'm going to pull out for you, my darling pile 3. Sorry, this has been a little bit, it's interesting actually. Healing happens in so many different ways, and we've really got to, you know, understand. It's just crazy how this stuff works. Because, you know, you've got so much going for you, but the eyes are closed. He's looking that way. He's looking that way. And there's very much, it feels very, oh, it all looks really good. Why can't you just be happy with how it is? That's how it feels. That's how it feels. Okay, right, last card to, so how do you heal this, right? The way you heal it is by like really thinking about it, giving yourself time to really think about these things. You want Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Swords. That's what you want, because you've just got a lot of all the other suits right now. Yeah, wander, yonder, and yonder. This is really philosophical. I love it. It's almost like pondering things about the intellectual kind of possibilities. Can you see that? Can you see that pile? Oh, I love it when spirit does shit like this. That's so cool, isn't it? So we don't know if it's waxing or waning. We need to figure out it more. We need to understand a bit more. How do you know if that's waxing or waning? You go and look it up. You go and look up. Is the moon waxing or waning? When was it last full? That's not your emotions. That's not your physical. Okay, yeah, you may physically be having to like tap into your phone or whatever, but that's you actually doing an intellectual exercise in terms of like finding out what place that moon is at. That might be something. I wouldn't be surprised if you're dealing with a female, right? Maybe think about her menstrual cycle. Maybe think about, there may be some emotional things that are going on with her that might be affecting her in that way. So there's stuff to think about here, pile 2. I love it. I love it for you. I love it. It's the intellectual coldness that we need, because there's just this kind of like brashness that's like, yeah, I can fix it, But actually, you need a different strategy. Pile 2, brilliant reading. Absolutely love this reading. I love a challenge. If you liked it, did I miss anything? No. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, I love reading for you guys. And I'm sending you the biggest hug in the world. You can do this. And I love you loads. Sending you all the love hugs and everything and all my joy and everything. I just want to give you a big squeeze if you'll accept it, because I think this pile are a bit like, what's she doing? But anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos. If you like it, also other people on the algorithm will see it. The algorithm will pick it up and start to like it, and then my videos can get pushed out a bit more. Take care, my darlings, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So, God, this has been like, this has been quite intense readings for all of you guys. I hope that you are well. Let's have a little look at what this ruby is saying to me about you. I think there's some kind of like trapped stuff, either trapped or there's memories from the past or memories from before, memories either from this life or various different lifetimes that will prove very useful to you in the healing of the current healing paradigm. What I do also get from this is that even though you don't look like the shiniest, beautiful, most like gorgeous ruby that is out there, you are still a beautiful ruby. So, even though you may not be like what might be considered the best, or have like particular flaws or whatever, there's still something very beautiful and very precious about you. So let's have a look at what this card is going to say. The Sirens, look at that. Love that. Okay, pile 3, what I'm getting from this is that you may have adopted a particular kind of behavior in order to get people to notice you, like you, to get further in life, just generally. And what I'm getting from here is that there need, like, that's the kind of initial thing that's happening here. You may have been, you may have lost something. Like maybe you've lost self-esteem or something in terms of maybe what you look like. maybe certain things have happened. I saw a really interesting video on YouTube about, no, actually it was on Instagram, like where you've got like these videos that show you how you were before and then how you are now, and usually that there's a progression moving forward of like really advanced yoga techniques or whatever, and people are like able to bend backwards when they weren't able to even bend over and touch their toes. But one really interesting video was that this woman, she was able to do something really incredible, and then she took a photo of a video of herself now, and she wasn't as flexible. And it was really nice to see, because, you know, we can kind of beat ourselves up for what we expect that we should have been or how we should have progressed. I know I'm definitely guilty of that. So, you know, maybe in our youth we were at a certain level which was really kind of, you know, full of confidence or whatever. And then now we're feeling a little bit like less so. So there may be something to do with that. Let's have a look more about the cards, more about your oracle cards. Okay, so I'll go this one first. We've got Destiny, which is absence. Interesting. That means when there's no kind of like significant kind of like when there's an absence of something on the hands, that's also means something. It's similar to like the houses in astrology, that just because we don't have something in the houses doesn't mean that it's not important. Wow, we've got Mars. Love that. Deep, passionate, beautiful. Oh, love it. We have Thistle, none touch me with impunity. I love that. And look at that. Look at that character. Love it. And Mars, Jupiter, fire and air. And then we've got this one here, which is Azure, which is protect yourself. And then, wow, money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Love that. Oh, it's so interesting. All of the, well, no, actually, that's a lie. They haven't been all about money. But it's been interesting. So, I'm just going to have a little look at this one, because this usually tends to give me a little bit of light about this. Okay, there's a really interesting theme that's coming across that I've just noticed through all of this. Now, the main thing about Thistle is about protecting yourself against something that might not be seen. We also do have protect yourself here with Azure, and then we also have Mars. Ruby is also about that. The sirens are usually warnings as well. If we look deeper into the idea of it, like they. So what I'm thinking, pile 3, is that something that seems like the right way to do something may be something that actually is causing you to, like, I think you need to be aware that it might not be the right path. Destiny and the absence of destiny, I just feel like there's a little bit of like trying to make something if there's nothing. That's what I'm getting from that. Because we get bored with nothing. So I think there's a warning here, because the sirens, and, you know, even looking at what the book is saying about that, you know, the first thing that I kind of thought of is it's a warning. You know, they lead people to death. So, and then we've got protect yourself on Mars. So there's something about the idea of like fighting for the underdog, but being able to do it so that you don't destroy yourself. Does that make sense? Pile 3. Yeah, something or someone is pushing your boundaries. Thistle is warning you that danger is coming, and yet it is time to be prepared. The danger to you is not easily visible. Yeah, it is present. Prepare your defenses and be ready to be aggressive in battle to defend yourself. I stand nobly in my own power. These two are very much about that. Really interesting. Really interesting. I didn't expect that at all. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this. What does my pile 3s need to heal right now? What do my pile 3s need to heal right now? I'm also thinking that things have been very kind of calm recently, and I think you need to be on your guard about something. What is it? What does my pile threes need to heal right now? What do my pile threes need to heal right now? That twisted around. Wow, judgment. Oh, that twisted as well. Wow. Okay. I think you're already aware of it. I think you already know what's going on. Too many. Oof, okay. Okay, pile. Yeah, I think you need to protect yourself for sure. What do you need to protect yourself from? Wow, look at all those majors. Okay, what does pile 3 need to heal themselves from? What is it that they need to protect themselves from? You've got like an intuition about something. You've got like a thought about something. And maybe this thought was something that you were thinking, oh no, it's fine. It's all right. You know, I'll be okay. Because the main thing that's kind of hitting me is when Odysseus decided to listen, he really wanted to listen to the sirens. And he urged his men to block up their ears, but then he said that he would be tied to the bow, I think it's like to the main post in the middle of the ship, and he would be listening to the sirens, and no matter how much that he protested that he wanted to be let go, they must not listen to him and just continue rowing so that he could hear their beautiful song, because the song was so beautiful, but it ultimately led sailors to their deaths. So what I'm getting here is that there may have been something that you were aware of previously, and you might have thought that this would not affect you. You decided not to really make a big deal out of it. But it actually is, I think I would go as far as to say it is some kind of attack on you. And so what do you need to heal? What do you need to heal? I think the only thing that kind of comes to me here is that you need to heal or just come to kind of some terms with not jumping in and being able to do anything about it. There may just be some kind of guilt, unnecessary guilt that may arise from the fact that you can't deal with it immediately. I really do feel like you're at peace with it, to be honest with you. But it is disappointing. But it is pretty big. Let me find out a bit more. Bear with me. Okay, I just wanted to have a little look at what it said in the book about that. And I mean, it's very much, it ties in with that whole thing of freedom. But there needs to be some kind of restrictions around it. So it's almost like taking a calculated risk. But right now, I feel like the calculated risk that you may be thinking about taking, and it's interesting because I'm feeling work here, but I don't think it is to do with work, but I'm feeling it's something to do with work. I know it sounds really contradictory, but I don't know, that's the sense I'm getting. You have to be really cautious. There's a big warning here. I also got the Emperor reversed just now on the card underneath, so it might even be family. It might be to do with somebody who you thought you could trust in terms of a kind of work figure, like maybe like somebody who's just above you, or somebody who's going to offer you something, and then now they're not. I don't know, there's something insidious about their offer. Lovers upright, yeah, I mean, like, you know yourself. But I think there's also a lockdown of communication from people who know this person. Like, they're not telling you anything. They're not telling you anything. And you're okay with that, but it is like, you know, you are thinking, like, this is drama, like bare drama. There's no need to do this. Sorry, it's just because it went sideways. When it's sideways, like, I have to take it sideways. Okay, so we've got the Teacher, which is the Hierophant. We've got the Universe, which is that way. Okay, big cards, pile. 3. The Six of Swords reversed. Okay. This is something that you thought was over, but it's not. I might say that this could be a vendetta. It could be that somebody's like trying to kind of like get you, like come at you for some reason. Maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you did something that undermines somebody's like actions or something. But it just feels like that. We've got 10 of Swords reversed. So you've got the 10 of Swords twice reversed, pile 3. And then we've got the 9 of Cups. There's been like a kind of blissful unawareness. You've kind of just been like reveling in your own kind of joy, which has helped you to kind of deal with it. So you've just been like, oh, they do what they're doing. But they've actually been up to a lot by the looks of things. And then we've got the 7 of Swords reversed. Okay, so you know what's going on. I'd be honest with you, like, I think the disappointment is really the main thing that needs to be healed here. Like, I don't think that you could really, there we go. Like, I don't think you really could feel that you could preempt this, you know? Even though you did see the signs, even though you understood what people were like, even though maybe you were hoping for a different outcome, it's okay. People are just people, aren't they? The Magician reverse. See, I told you, this person wants something, and I think, you know, I think you may be hurt that the person, I mean, you're not even I don't know, we don't have the 5 of Cups, so it's not even a deep disappointment. I don't know, maybe there might have been some wanting to try and change this outcome, but it's very clear that you couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't do anything about it. You had to just allow it. You had to let it come up in order for you to deal with it. And just you've dealt with this in exactly the right way. You've avoided any drama. You've avoided any way of being able to kind of, you know, kind of deal with things. And what's really like, you haven't got involved in anything that may compromise you. But what's really interesting is that all the swords are coming down. And what's even more interesting is that this is the traditional Rider-Waite. Like, that's how it is. And then you've got this one, right? So she's falling onto the swords. But what's happening is that you've kind of been like, right, okay, I'm not really going to get involved in the drama. And then it's come back. And then what's happened is that the drama's decided to come after you. So what I'm thinking here is that you are, I don't know, I just feel like you feel annoyed that you weren't able to see this. Because you're very intuitive, you know your stuff. Let's have a look at the other cards. Yeah, I want to do this one first. Okay, so wow, look at that. Jesus Christ. Right, okay, so we've got Trickster. Person is not who they appear to be. Maybe you saw red flags, right? Pile 3. You saw red flags about this person, but they took their time to show their true selves to you. It really did. You could be dealing with a narcissist, you know, the kind of love bombing kind of phase. You could be, but this is definitely like, and I think that they're after your monetary wealth. I think they are. cool, get back to basics. You may need to involve yourself in some kind of legal kind of things. I don't really advise usually on legal matters, but just make sure everything is watertight in terms of this. And then we have, bear with me. And then we have gold, attract abundance. I'm telling you, you are like amazing. Like people just come to you. Like I think people know that you bring good things to people. That's why, or you bring money, or you're good at like handling things. There's something very attractive about you. That's why people like this come to you. Oh my God, and silver, be persistent. You got gold and silver. So what I'm thinking here is that you seem to have an ability to be able to attract personalities that all sorts of personalities. Unfortunately, not all of those personalities are going to have your best interest in heart. They're not going to have your best kind of, they're not going to be wanting the same things for you. They're not going to be wanting the best for you. They're just not. They're not going to have your values. They're not going to be who you want them to be, really, basically. They're actually going to want to get out and get you. They do want to get you. So I think it's really important for you to just keep that in mind. Just be aware that any kind of, like, who you're sharing your information with, what you're kind of, what you're fighting for, really the things that you're fighting for. That's what I kind of get with this here, that the thing that you're fighting for, is it really the right thing to be fighting for? It's almost like the silence is a little bit, the absence of stuff is a little bit questionable in terms of whether or not something actually is going on. Meaning that if nothing is happening, then I would be a little bit worried, So what do you need to heal? Let's have a look. Where's this deck? What do you need to heal? What do you need to heal? Pile 3, what do you need to heal? What do you need to heal? Take the route less travelled. Wow. And then that's also congruent with the teacher. So you're going to have to think differently about a certain situation. I think there is an element of where you did trust someone and they're kind of really showing you their true colours about what it is that they're really capable of. I feel that I don't think you do beat yourself up about it, but don't be too hard on yourself about, the fact that you couldn't see this coming, and that you didn't see this coming. I've got a feeling that you won't see this coming. I think that's quite clear here. So I think it's just important for you just to keep your defenses up, and I would say, play it cool, but just keep your boundaries high. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a lack of boundaries going on here. And there are people that are waiting to take advantage of that. It sounds quite sinister. I don't want it to sound like scary or anything, but pile 3, I'm just going to put it out there. I really do think that you need to watch who you're trusting. But obviously, this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, discard the rest. Be persistent in your own kind of beliefs. Be vigilant in your beliefs. Don't compromise on that. That's really important. But otherwise, my darlings, I really hope that this reading helped. What needs healing? Just your vigilance in your beliefs and your assertiveness. I hope that answers that to some degree. Remember, it is a general reading. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. Please do like this video if you liked it. The mysterious algorithm listens to likes, so then other people who need this can also watch it as well. If you'd like to get in touch with me for a personal reading, my details are in the description box down below. But otherwise, take care, my darlings, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye.